Happy March 8th, 2022. Hope you're being blessed by the presence of God in your walk with Him daily. Today's reading from the Power of Prayer by E.M. Bounds is entitled For Sacred Use. Cornelius and all his family were very devout and God-fearing. He gave generously to those in need and prayed to God regularly. Acts 10:2. As E.M. Bound writes, he says, devotion has great religious significance. The root meaning of devotion is to devote to a sacred use. Devotion is being connected emotionally by love, compassion, and specifically to the Lord. Now we say we have devotion for other things. We're devoted to this or we're devoted to that. We're devoted to our spouse. We're devoted to our parents. We're devoted to our children. Some people are devoted to their job, but in truth, that word, like awesome, is really a word that's designated to be used toward God. And when we use it in other avenues, it's really taking it a little out of context. And we are to really think about it in terms of our connectedness to God. So devotion has great religious significance, E.M. Bounds writes. The root meaning of devotion is to devote to a sacred use. And he's talking about devoting ourselves, devoting our time, devoting our resources, devoting our totality of who we are to the Lord Himself. It says, thus, devotion in its true sense has to do with worship. In the true sense of the word devotion, it is connected to worship. We are showing our love, our compassion towards God, knowing that His love and His compassion is directed toward us. It stands intimately connected with true prayer. If we're truly praying, it's out of a sense of devotion to God, being connected to Him. Devotion is the particular frame of mind found in a person entirely devoted to God. The key word there is entirely devoted to God. When we're entirely devoted to God, then that means that we have given Him first place in our lives. He is now number one. And so E.M. Bounds continues to write, it is the spirit of reverence and godly fear. It is a state of heart that appears before God in prayer and worship. So we have devotions, and of course what we're doing here is a devotional. It is a time of devotion. It is a time of action, of worship toward the Lord. It is a time of being with Him, not only in a time of watching a short video presentation or hearing scriptures read or listening to someone expound a little bit on those scriptures. It is the heart. It is the heart that's connected to God, and it's connected more deeply as we go through the reading of the Word, as we go through the time of prayer, as we go through the explanation of the Word, and it is a deeper connectiveness with God. E.M. Bounds continues to write, it is unfamiliar, talking about devotion, with things like lightness of spirit, and is opposed to noise and complaining. We can tell that a lot of Christians haven't really come to the place of devotion because a lot of us make a lot of noise about things we shouldn't be making noise about, and complaining about things we have no right to be complaining about. Old Satan gets in there and goes to work and deters our devotion and turns it into something else. Devotion dwells in the realm of quietness and is still before God. What a great place to be. Quiet and still before our Creator, our Father, the one who loves us most. It is thoughtful, serious, and meditative. You know, we like to enjoy our devotions. Sometimes having a little funny story or something that livens us up a little bit. It's always enjoyable and can be a part of our devotion to God. But when we get connected to Him through our true devotion and in our deepest times of prayer, we find that those are times that become thoughtful, times that become serious and meditative as we sit before our holy God in His presence, basking in His grace and His love and His presence. Ian's Bound's prayer today is, Almighty God, I devote myself to your sacred use today. I come to you in quietness and stillness of heart. Please speak to me today. When we approach God in devotion and asking Him out of the quietness of our heart to speak to us, we then need to listen because He will. You be blessed today and bless someone else as God leads you through this day. See you tomorrow.